Alright, I'm back. This has been a long time since I actually uploaded to this channel, and I'm sorry for that. I've been really hooked on gaming lately, and well, my gaming channel has been blowing up. It's almost at 400 subscribers. So yeah, that's been a thing. But now that I'm back here, I can most definitely focus on more anime content, and of course, it's another My Hero Academia video because I am addicted to this anime so badly. I'm addicted to this anime, I'm addicted to the story, and I'm not apologizing because it's so freaking good. If you don't like it, that's your issue, just don't deal with it in me. Alright, so in today's video, I'm actually not going to be focusing much on the anime at all. I'm going to be focusing more on the manga, which leads to the following notice. Spoiler alert, I will be talking about things that are happening in the manga that has not been it's not nowhere near close to what's happening in the anime. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you leave now. I have a 5-second interval right about now where you guys can just leave if you don't want to be spoiled. So yeah. Alright, I'm assuming if you're still here, you actually read the manga and follow the manga, or you just want to see what's going on in the manga and you haven't had the chance to read the manga or catch up. I'm going to be talking about the different quirks of One For All. Now, I bet you're wondering, what are you talking about? Well, for One For All is all one quirk. Not technically at all. One For All is a combination of different quirks. It's been made multiple times clearly in the series that One For All is not one quirk in particular, but it's multiple quirks being stockpiled into one particular quirk. And in the most recent chapter, 218 or 218, we see Deku trying to understand a new quirk that was recently shown to him from one of the previous One For All users in a Dreamscape. And we know the name of this quirk. This quirk is actually named Black Whip. It's a really interesting quirk that allows people to grab onto things, which is pretty interesting. It's kind of like the best way for me to describe it would be like Spider-Man in a way, and like how he could use his web to grab on and grip things. So it's kind of like that in a way. It kind of makes sense considering the fact that Horikoshi's favorite hero is Spider-Man. Hello? Oh, shut up. that's my watch. I don't know why it's going off. But it makes sense that the first quirk that he introduces, outside of the original One For All quirk that we've known and come to love, would be a quirk that's similar to Spider-Man because he loves Spider-Man. And the name of that quirk is Black Whip. And we find out that the wielder of Black Whip was the third wielder One For All. Now, currently we know 3 specific quirks that are in One For All. We know the stockpile and transfer quirk, which is a stockpile and transfer quirk, which is 2 separate quirks that are combined together, which created One For All. And now we know Black Whip, which is the third quirk. And I now want to figure out what are the other possible quirks that exist inside One For All, because we are seeing that Deku is going to get the ability to unlock all of these specific quirks, and these quirks are going to be really interesting to actually utilize and see Deku utilize. And it's actually it's a story is really followed down a really nice plot, and I feel like this is going to be where My Hero Academia hits a high note again for being interesting and being unique, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. So now that the intro's out of the way, the very extended almost 4-minute intro is out of the way, let's get into the One For All quirk. Alright, so my first speculatory quirk that's kind of been confirmed, is the wind quirk. Now, my reasoning for why there's a wind quirk within One For All is due to a lot of reasons. We see in multiple situations when Deku uses 100% of One For All, or when All Might uses 100% of One For All, it leaves a lasting impact, and there tends to be a lot of gale wind in the process of them using a punch or a kick or whatever. So I'm pretty sure it's a pretty definite thing to say oh, the wind quirk is definitive. This is the actual thing. They have a wind quirk as a part of One For All, and I personally am loving the concept of the wind quirk because I feel like that could be utilized a lot of different ways in both close and long range combat. It's all been confirmed. I'm shocked Horikoshi didn't make that the first quirk to be a literal confirmed third quirk to One For All. But I mean, it's always been there, so I feel like it's always been expected to be oh, that's just another quirk within One For All. So that's the first quirk that I wanted to talk about real quick. The wind quirk. I personally originally believed that it was Nana Shimura's quirk. The wind quirk, apparently it was never proven or disproven, so I can't guarantee it was her quirk in particular, but I had a, like, I don't know why, maybe it was like intuition telling me it was probably her quirk, even though we never seen her fight, we never seen her like do any action in the manga or an anime. So my speculatory was that it was her quirk. Now I'm gonna get to the two more speculatory quirks that, like, these have been far from confirmed, far from anywhere near plausible, but not far from plausible, but like it has some grounding in the story. And the first quirk I want to talk about in particular is the muscle augmentation quirk. Now, I believe this is a quirk that one of the previous users had, where it's similar to Muscular's quirk, but it can be used to strengthen the muscles of an individual in fighting or to like protect themselves. So it's either an offensive or defensive quirk, similar to how Muscular uses it. Now I bet you're wondering, why would Horikoshi have two quirks that are nearly the same in a villain and a hero? It doesn't make a lot of sense at face theory, I'm not gonna lie. It didn't make a lot of sense to me when I first thought about this. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized this quirk makes a decent chunk of sense. We have seen Deku break his arms multiple times, and his muscles is what holding the quirk in. Now I bet you're wondering, okay, but yeah, all the muscles hold our bones in, even in the normal world. That is true. That is technically true. But the way Deku has broken his arms by using a really strong augmented quirk like One For All currently is, it would have shattered his limbs. Like it would have been gone pop. And the very specific situation I want to look at is the battle against Muscular, where Deku fights Muscular and breaks his arm basically twice over using 100% of One For All. And that's not the first time he's used the quirk. Used the quirk 100%. He used the quirk at least 3 other times, 100%, One For All, and has busted his limbs. So to say that it's just protagonist luck, I would highly doubt that. I feel like there is a muscle quirk involved in this situation that makes his body more able to sustain the damage of One For All. Because I feel like without that quirk in particular, he would have lost the arm already. Because he's broken his arm an equivalent of 5 times, just his right arm, at least 5 times, because he always uses his right arm to punch, which I'm just like, okay, Deku, you have a left arm, you know, I know it's probably weaker, but come on, use your left arm at least once. But he's broken his right arm 5 times, and this arm has yet to like shatter completely. And I'm shocked, because I don't care what you tell me about the world of Quirks and how this recovery girl, that arm should be gone. I'm gonna be realistic. The amount of times he's used that much force in his right arm in particular, that arm should be far from like gone. That arm should be gone. Now, the second scenario that I want to focus on with the Muscular quirk would be the battle in around All For One and All Might. It's basically the same situation. All Might already had his arm broken in that fight. His right arm was completely broken, yet he uses the muscles in his arm, which I feel like is due to the augmented muscle quirk, to punch All For One and create that Gale Wind, linking back to that first wind quirk, to beat All For One. Now, I bet you're wondering what he's talking about, because All Might can still use his quote-unquote muscle form after he can still use his muscle form after he lost One For All. And while yes, that is true, here's the thing. His muscle form is technically his real form. And the deflated form wasn't his true form at all. It's the buff All Might form that was the original All Might. It wasn't the deflated form. The deflated form was due to a particular damage that he took when battling One For All All For One the first time. God, I hate that. One For All For One. That's so annoying. But for the most part, the muscle quirk, I believe, is what allowed him to keep being a hero, and not opposed to like him having to give up as a hero. Because in this situation, we see how the muscle quirk has been used multiple times to hold bones in place. Like it specifically stated how All Might uses the muscle form, which I believe is a part of the muscle quirk that's in One For All, to hold his bones in place, in particular to beat All For One. So that's one of the wild card theories I have for a quirk. Now the second one, it's a really far shot for me, and personally, I was really hard to believe when I came up with this myself. But I believe the second speculatory quirk that we could at least like have some decency of like, oh, this is actually possible, is a lightning quirk. Now I'm not sure. I don't have a definitive way on how this quirk would work or how it would be activated per se. There has been situations in the past where we have seen the lightning quirk or the quote unquote lightning quirk, because we're not sure if it's really just lightning or fast speed, be kicked into place. And we see it multiple times. We see it when Deku powers up. And while yes, that could just be like an animated animation way on Horikoshi's way of showing, oh, Deku's powering up. We also see the lines going up his body, which is also a pretty good way to show that he is powering up. So I feel like the lightning quirk is something separate from that Horikoshi's been teasing at ever since Deku and All Might ever first used One for All in a fight. And we see this lightning generated multiple times in this series, and we see the commonality in two scenarios. One, they're moving stupid fast, which means it's either a speed quirk or a lightning quirk that's making it a speed quirk, or two, they're powering up. Now, I believe the lightning quirk acts similarly to the muscle quirk, when it only activates when it needs to be. Now, I feel like this lightning quirk is also doubling as a speed quirk, because we see the lightning. Okay, so the first example I want to name is when when All Might punches Nomu. When All Might delivers that final blow to Nomu at the end of season 1, we see in the moment there's a flicker of lightning in the contact point. And I believe that contact point was basically the lightning quirk being used, and it's been slowed down to the point that we can actually see the quirk in effect. And I bet you're wondering, how do I make this theory? Because for the simple fact that like they can move that fast, I'm pretty sure no stockpiling amount of power and strength alone can allow that. So I'm pretty sure there's a lightning or speed quirk involved. Now, my second example I want to state is almost every time Deku powers up and rushes into a fight, he's moving fast and he's moving strong. He powers up when he battles Stain. There's lightning surrounding him. When he's going against Guarantino in the mock fight, there's lightning around him. When he fights All Might, lightning. When he battles Muscular, All Might. When he rushes into the forest to help his classmates, lightning. And even during the license exam, he's moving really fast. And I believe this ultimately generates the lightning. Now, I'm not sure. I'm saying this before. I'm saying this a million times again. I'm not sure if this is a speed quirk or just a lightning quirk, and I cannot confirm this right now, but I'm pretty sure it's a lightning quirk that's like really, really like suppressed within One for All. And ultimately, the commonality is pretty clear that this could be a lightning quirk, it just could be a speed quirk, regardless of the fact one of those two quirks exist within One for All. It's either speed or lightning, because with enough speed, you could generate lightning. And I believe that it could be a speed quirk or it could be a lightning quirk, because we do see situations where he punches and it generates lightning. And there's also the situation of, actually, no, never mind. I'm going to leave that for another time. Ultimately, this is a pretty interesting quirk to go and focus on. One for All is a really interesting and neat quirk that I personally love to see getting broken down into detail. And I honestly hope one of these quirks is true. I hope the muscle quirk or the lightning quirk is true, because it'll make me so happy to see this. But yeah, that's basically my stance on this. Hopefully one of these quirks are true. I could possibly see one of those two quirks being true. The one quirk is basically all but confirmed. I don't know what to say about that. Alright, so that's basically it. If you enjoyed this little theory that I've come up with the 3 or 2 speculatory quirks and one that's basically all but confirmed, because Horikoshi just won't confirm the Wind quirk, for God's sake. Tell me in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think it's a different set of quirks that is within One for All? Or do you think it's the quirks I named? Do you think I have an actual good chance of being right? I personally can go either way with this. I believe that the muscle quirk and the lightning quirk are definite, like, at least possibilities for quirks that are within One for All. And I also believe that the Wind quirk is a definite guarantee. So yeah, that's basically it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. I want to see what you guys think. Is it possible for there to be more quirks? I mean, there is possibility, but like, do you think these two quirks are actually possible quirks that exist within One for All? Tell me down below in the comment section. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.